where EG ran away with the protocols game. This utility synergy, constantly catching DRX off guard. Do they get away with the same thing here versus Loud?
That's the question, Demon. One already dealt with. Aspas, perfect start from him. Busio, no opportunity to really trade much off that. It's already cut down in numbers. You're looking for some sort of flex back in from Dish. The timing's great for Busio there, and they need to flood out now. Need to get that pressure building from Dish. They try and get to the site. The underhand flash was pretty good from Sadak, but they should still be able to get the plant here.
Will do. Sadak not spotted on the boombot though. Jorgamo does have a deep position towards spawn, but less there. Guarding it, Jorgamo.
No idea.
Yeah, no idea because of the boombot.
You're absolutely right there. That's a little devastating for them. Sadak can be grinning it. Yeah, what a shot! Com needs more though. Dark goes out by a couple of seconds. Let's get to challenge. Ethan overwhelms. And now it's just Dewey's. That young gun made a name for himself on this map not too long ago. But can he find these final two? Low HP, yes, but the time is already ticking. Com, heroic performance from the site there as well. Kept them in that round.
Beautiful recovery from EG to stabilize here. After losing D1, probably the most pivotal member of this composition in terms of going for a set execute here on the pistol. Fantastic stuff from Com to flip this back in their favor. And the fault line sets him up for success.
And statistically, we have to know how many of these pistols EG are winning, how many bonuses they've been converting throughout that group stage play. Now, we have to once again highlight, Loud are just a different team altogether. Obviously, those to the international scene may look towards that Brazil result, but you have to remark and note that regular season run coming into this. They were near on infallible the way they were playing. Absolutely monstrous. So I wonder if EG has that same sort of freedom here. We see very light investments, less just a little sheriff frenzy with Aspas. We'll see if EG can keep this clean, keep methodical, go through that protocol list.
Sadak actually isolated here with Aspas tucked in behind. Paranoia sent through, but no follow-up just yet.
Surprising, no one tried to shut down that. That felt like a really good chance, but it's less to find Boostio. So first bit of chip damage done, successful for Loud here. Any more to come from it?
Slight upgrade. Les did get tagged up down to 30 HP, but Bulldog in hand. ZG looking to navigate their way towards A site. Loud have the reading on the timing, yeah, especially with a lot of freedom to Les. Is he going to take the rope? He's actually getting behind them.
Yeah, but the timing, they actually might be a little bit deeper towards A main, but again, he will have an opportunity to this. They are going to take a couple of seconds to get that utility down. Close smokes towards the A site. Yes, you're going to have one put back by Tui's, but that's fine. The flank may have lost a little bit of its punch to it because they're still going to be in the post plan. They've all opted to basically sit on site, excluding one. That's Demon 1 here. Stunned up, tries to fall away, find a safer position. Loud and knocking at the door now. Stunned to follow. He's in danger, needs some help. Ethan can't do it. Aspas is there. Loud trying to get dangerous here. Demon 1! Shot and a half! This guy is monstrous! That got so dangerous, Mike. Like, let's talk about what that was.
So well handled. Even with the second stun coming through from Aspas, Demon 1 has to retuck into the corner.
How is he not dead here?
That's ridiculous.
Especially after Ethan falls, right? Like, I thought that was the green light.
It's actually a crucial flash to come through from Ethan to stop Loud from following up on the fault line. Initially, that's when you expect Demon 1 to fall. So well handled.
Old progress-wise as well, Com's pretty close by to his. I mean, Demon 1 not a million miles away, Aspas very close by. Now into the bonus, we have seen statistically EG doing very well here. This one, not going to have as much punch to it, so I wonder if there's a plan in mind that they can maybe hit here. But Loud, let's have a little look as to what they're doing as well.
I mean, Boostio on the Sheriff, they obtained the Hunter's Fury as well, and 3 rifles to work with here, though, so it's not as if they're bringing a couple of SMGs in, Lauren. This is an opportunity to potentially stack up. Especially if they lean towards B, where Loud only have 2 players positioned right now. If they play the trades, this is the best possible situation for a bonus.
Yep. Sadak, though. Probably the first one to really feel that contact coming through. Does have less by his side. 3-play stack over towards 8. Will take a second or two to come into any sort of effective range. And tower controls there. So, speaking of the ult, noted it earlier, Com's going to send it, and it's actually Boostio to find Sadak. Okay, talk about on the site, light work towards Les, and Mike, this is gorgeous to watch.
Like I said, they actually identify the site where there's 2 positioned, and Aspas and County need to find something here, but Boostio stands his ground.
Okay, surely not, no more, what? This is genuinely a treat to watch. These bonus conversions, this gets a full buy from Loud. Note that, this isn't just an eco, this is nothing like this. They got 5 standing, they got upgrades galore, and Tui's is on 24 HP, he's dead. EG. There's Prime Gaming flawless, and that is a call to attention for Loud. They got to wake up.
This is so beautifully set up as well. The Nano Swarm, the Paint Shell, the Aftershock, and then the Hunter's Fury on top of that, posted behind it. EG don't even need to take contact towards Arcade here. The utility combination forces Loud a little deeper. You see here, Salak just has nowhere to go.
That is a brutal take towards tower. Wow.
What a huge tool to have at their disposal in the
How are you meant to be comfortable in tower ever?
It's... Again, this is invested from so deep as well. Loud can't aggress onto this.
And it's a very short list of those who've pressured Loud, who's taken maps against Loud, and EG are one of those teams here. Very exclusive list. Some of the best that we've seen throughout Valorant thus far, but converting it into a win is a different thing altogether. This is map 1. EG have done statistically what we've been discussing them being exceptionally good at so far. Now, can Loud get a little dangerous? Yes, they can. That's a rifle recovered and a player isolated, and they've read this correctly. Expecting that flex from the other side of the map now, over towards 8. Smoke does go in, but EG looking to disrespect that. They're straight on through.
Aspas does pop the ult, though.
He's a scary man.
There's no second layer to this right now. It's just Aspas on site. He goes 1 for 1. Ethan will find it.
Surprised no one tried to back him up a little bit, maybe put their life on the line to try and facilitate something. But speaking of that, life on the line, Com, just a perfect positioning here to make them so uncomfortable. Yes, there's still 3 alive for Loud, but Com's position is maintaining so much area of this map. Ethan, gonna find it hard to back away from this now, so could get isolated.
Tui's has only just gone and recovered the rifle. 2 Sheriffs in his teammates' hands. Stun comes through, but Jorgamo able to cut line of sight here from Cow and Zine. Loud maybe just going to look for a couple of exits here.
Yep, Ethan's going to deny Cow and Zine. Jorgo will find Tui's and less. How much more damage can you get? 2 more potential victims. Com's just going to play the timing, doesn't need to overdo this. And it should be hard for Les to really connect something clean here. Yeah, okay. EG navigating the threats in that round, but Loud getting a little bit more dangerous here, round by round. That's much closer.
So, 4 on the board for EG, nice and early, and getting close to some of these key ultimates. Demon 1-2 away from the orbital strike, 1 off the lockdown for Boostio. A Rolling Thunder at their disposal. Loud need to answer back early on in this half.
Yeah, I think if this one gets completely taken away from them, I'm wondering when that timeout hits. Could be
again, round 3, they played it very passively. As soon as they got rifles on the board, it was a lot of space conceded to EG. And like we said, the investment of utility in the ultimate was so deep. There's no answer back in for Loud there.
Okay, hearing enough steps, that paranoia is going to send most of EG scrambling. Les trying to buy some time. He's got Tui's by his side as well. This is very nice. And the crunch is on the way. It's just murder of Dish. Beautiful from Loud. Stunning shutdown of that. And Ethan's got nothing to say about the matter. That's the response they needed, and it was clear.
And we'll chip away, force a full repurchase here from EG. Should still be protected, though, in terms of the buy behind this. Again, you can see here on the X-ray how quickly Loud are looking to pinch 3 players. Barrel out of Arcade, but not even necessary.
Have ult-wise. Rolling Thunder lockdown, 1 away from Orbital Strike 2.
The 2 off the Showstopper as well.
Yeah, wow. On the other side, TP's there, not as influential. Couple, only 1 away as well. Less, not too far off, but looks like Loud really prioritizing taking space here. North side is theirs.
EG, though, can they backfill this? They find an advantage on the other side.
You can already see they're coming back around. The lockdown's going to go in from Boostio. Try and defend this. Loud looking to get a little closer by to it. Aspas trying to take a little bit of space, but he has to respect it now with only 3 seconds left on the lockdown. EG going to take towards the side, but this is where it gets interesting. Now we start to see that threat coming back through here, and surely EG questioning where the hell these boys are. That is massive! Can Jorgamo shut it down though? Can he close that gap? How far does he go? Loud being corralled around, spots out 1, looks for the follow-up, he's got it! This is beautiful to watch. And Loud getting no access back towards this side after that perfect pinch towards the north side. There's nothing to be had. A little overzealous on this one, but it's all effective trades. Ethan still holding so much space here. Les trying to do the dance with him, and he actually has the better moves too. He's now closing on in. But the time's been ticking this entire fight here. Overwhelmed, Les does well, takes down Demon 1. There's a real chance of this one, the smoke's still in play. They gotta check on this man. Boostio, dive in, take down Tui's. And Les knows the round's done. He's got to get out of there. Come on, Boostio, keep himself standing. Com better be ready. Hello, bye-bye. Com caught napping a little here, but EG happy enough with the round.
I mean, this is a beautiful setup. The read is perfect from Loud to come through, pinch on the north side, remove that second wave, I guess, from the lockdown and execute. But the response from EG is beautiful. You can see Jorgamo screaming for the Rolling Thunder to be sent through, and it sets him up to find 2 massive kills. Before Loud have even got a chance to even take back the space in Arcade behind the lockdown.
Yeah, it was very nicely done. Quick, identifying very quickly what's been going on. Speaking of that timeout, we kind of discussed when do they hit that button? It's now. 5-1, feeling that's enough. We need to get a grip on this game. Pump the brakes a little. Still have a buy in hand here for Loud, so they can at least come in with that weaponry. They'll be fine with that. Ult-wise, as it sits, EG only have that orbital strike there. Yes, 2 away from the Hunter's Fury, but on the other side, you're going to have Sadak very close by with his. They're starting to get a couple of options here, but I want to see what that adaptation is. It looked like map territory gaining was one of the priority pieces, but it hasn't rewarded them as much as they wanted.
I think now they're looking to execute some set pieces here to deny some of the space for EG. Again, we know the utility synergy is the key to EG's success here on Fracture, and they want to remove some of those tools as early on in the round. Problem being, they have to mitigate some of that risk if they start conceding or even trading out. It doesn't necessarily favor Loud in that regard.
And speaking of not favoring, I think, again, one of the statistics you have to kind of roll your mind back to during regular season for EG as well. Yeah, that's probably part of it. The fact that coming out of timeouts, EG have also been very good when they've been given a directive, right? Like, that has been something that's sat very well with them. Again, I do think Loud have that pedigree there to kind of kick into gear, but they feel like they're slightly behind the curve at this point. I want to see them activate a little more here, get a grip on the game, bring EG back to heel.
Investment out here, but no swing from Loud. I guess the fault lines trade off here. And a slow start to the round coming out of the timeout. Deep progress, yes. It looks like a paranoia set up here from 2Es. Actually sent here on the back of the drone. Cover going out. So popped a little early. And that feels like a win for EG, honestly, to bait that out here and almost get a feel for the set piece or what Loud were trying to accomplish here towards A main. It wouldn't surprise me if Les and Sadak give up a little bit of sight here. Wait for those 3 players to actually set up and come through and flank if the execute onto B does come, Lauren.
So EG will have the green light towards the site. May get a little bit of pressure on the cross, but they should be there. There it is, Smokes, and a quick hit. So Jorgamo's going to get there. The strike comes down, clears out tower, but Jorgamo connects towards Les. Sadak with a great trade, and they haven't fully accessed the site. Look at the flank, it's on the way. This is where the danger's going to come in. Boostio seems all too aware, but the stun's in. They're in danger. Loud now closing them down. They don't have any safety to fall back to, so they take the fight, and Aspas perfect positioning. Punishing 2. Cowan's in there, but Demon 1. He's still alive. A 1v2. He's got to know where Sadak is. 2Es maybe a little bit harder to pin down. He's only got 14 seconds to find this. How much does he get?
10
Jump spot, spots 1. It's not a comfortable plant. He's going to get it down for now. Closing the gap, though. You've got to respect this man. A danger! A danger run through! Demon 1 is in the server. A little absent through groups, but playoffs, he has appeared.
That is disgusting. That is actually disgusting.
Run it back to me. Roll it back to me right now. Because this, I thought this was wraps, Mike. I thought this was wraps.
It should be. I mean, you can see Loud set up. Even at the first smoke being invested, Loud look to execute this flank.
What on earth? You got a smile from Ethan. That's saying something.
Beautiful stuff. You don't often win out those versus Loud.
Them.
No.
Come off it. We do need to take stock at some point. We are sitting at a 6-1 lead for EG here. But Loud getting more proactive, getting a little more aggressive. And I say a little, I mean a lot. Boostio trying to go anti-flash on this, but they just keep on walking. Demon 1's gone down. Boostio turns. It's traded out here. Now, EG on the other side of the map going to try and take that space. Loud looking like they just want to get brutal, get aggressive. And they're losing out on these fights here. And the other side of the map's completely open for EG.
Yeah, big gap here for EG to exploit. No command popped as well, so they almost get confirmation of further presence by Loud. Find themselves a free plant, have the Hunter's Fury as well to work with here, and an Aftershock, so if they go for a plant where they can play off both, definitely doable here for EG. Because Loud a million miles away from this as the plant comes through. Lots of question marks on the re-hit here through A main.
This is a little worrying. Now, Com has utility, still 2 shock darts as well. Ethan's got a little bit of kit left too, but he's just posted up on this. Okay, gonna slip back here, enough steps. Oh, Com caught just in the middle of no man's land. That's a lot of presence there for Ethan. He's got to be careful. Can he create a little crossfire, maybe with Jorgamo? Maybe a little bit of a pinch on this one. Jorgamo forced to commit to the site. It's Loud working their way back in. Gorgeous clear. And Jorgamo just trying to live behind that smoke. Spots out one, overwhelmed. Loud getting hyper-aggressive, Mike.
Yeah, paying no respect to the scoreline right here. Loud barreling onto site. Actually a beautiful pre-fire. I think Comms is completely caught off guard by the pacing, which Loud are just clearing back through A main. Lots of tools available, like I said, but EG opting to leave Com on site, not rely on the Hunter's Fury, and the fault line not really amounting to much.
But even the start of the round was almost bullish in approach, wasn't it? Just that almost overcommit through from B, taking those open challenges, which is traditionally not so favorable, but Loud just kind of going back to hyper-aggression as the answer, which may be enough, right? Disrupt EG early on, force them into unfavorable scenarios, and then just kind of run through them. But EG being humbled a little on the money as well, seeing a Guardian come out here, still able to get most of it by Bulldog with Ethan. Big info early on now.
Just waiting for a tag to come through there. Loud preemptively rotate away from this, or at least one. Cow and Zine will head across towards A site, maybe re-clear through A main. I think this might be Loud's plan going forward. Looking to address the back line as soon as this pressure is felt towards B site.
Yeah, totally different setup now from Loud, isn't it?
I mean, last time Les actually dipped out the smoke, got pinged by the bolt, so Loud's numbers were weakened ahead of that flank even coming into play here. I was going to say, if he's opting for the same thing, or it does just concede some of the space with Sadak.
Yep, he's starting to respect that here. Not as much information they'd like off the knife, but they're going to be willing to commit that rotation now.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, here comes the counter hit again, so aggressive, bursting forward, big tag! 2 tags achieved, Jorgamo tries to make the most of it, but his Aspas still standing, still does a bit of damage. And now down to 3v2, numbers in favor of Loud now, all on Jorgamo. This is so much to ask of him, he can't quite get the control. Oh, a valiant attempt from Jorgamo, but Cow and Zine standing on 19 HP. Is the one to do it. This is getting bloody now between these two.
Yeah, and Loud looking to get ahead of the curve actually here with the pre-take on the back of the spike being tapped. And you can see just how chaotic the exchange is here with utility and ultimates being dumped towards site. Maybe here with some of these, I guess, more retake-oriented setups, Loud want to create a little bit of chaos. So it's not really taking much investment in terms of utility for EG on the way in. Loud are happy to concede this space if they don't get some tangible information to start the round off, or a first blood, for example.
So that's what the questions will be kind of with this EG timeout now into effect. What are they coming up with now? They've had their money kind of, you know, put back down. They can go for maybe a little half buy, you know, a Shiko coming out or something of that ilk, but it's not going to be massive. So you're looking bigger picture here. Loud have responded first. They were being dictated to initially. Just kind of slip back into their more passive hold towards the B site, playing for the retake. Still having that space being taken over towards A main, so they're still very aware of this. Now, what is that adaptation here from EG? What is that next step and answer for them? It's going to be hard to bring it out here. I doubt it's this round, but following this.
I'm curious of actually if Loud revert back to, if they're not rewarded for this setup in A main, if it is so heavily reliant on addressing the backline, removing Boostio, Demon 1 and Com potentially with his utility, and try and get behind some of these B-side executes, how long they actually sit with this 3-man setup towards A main, because it certainly doesn't feel comfortable. It gives Les and Sadak very little to do, honestly. They have to sit behind these smokes when they are invested, and you certainly don't want to be the one swinging out of smokes. In terms of the retake here, the flank definitely feels like the safer bet. Same thing once again, though. CEG pistols to bring into this. 3 sheriffs, a couple of frenzies to maybe run someone down. Well, they might have had the orbital strike set up there, but maybe no confirmation on the stun or...
Okay. I want to see if Boostio gets the timing right to maybe punish some of these players. Just going to be working towards his ult as well. This is just going to be a round of trying to get towards those ult orbs as well.
As I say, yeah, if Ethan actually gets Rolling Thunder on, the next round for EG looks very well equipped. Flashed over the top here, but less.
Doesn't find anything.
They've had no confirmation of presence outside here. Knife won't find anything either.
And maybe Boostio going to try and sell him something over towards A, but you can see the intention from EG is going to be this eventual B finish. Less forced a little deeper here, challenge, and it's achieved. That's the ult invested to. Boombot going to get dealt with. He should be on red alert here. Sadak, there's nothing to deny the cross, so he can watch this one. They actually make it through Ethan. That was risky as hell, but he's going to make it there. Plant's going to go down. How much can they hold back here? Keep in mind, they only have that one rifle with Demon 1, but maybe in his hands, it might be enough. This end scurrying away. Demon 1's going to catch Kalanzine. And the flank from Boostio. It's huge. Oh my God, EG. They had nothing but Sheriff's odds and ends and one recovered rifle. And it's Aspas, one of the world's greatest, chasing down 4 players now. He's being given nothing, Mike. They're giving him no quarter now.
Just rifle in hand, but time ticking away here. He's gonna find it. What a ridiculous read. The adjustment here on this B site here, they know that Les and Sadak are respecting it. They're giving it up. They're waiting time for this back line to be flanked. And the response here is, the bolt line comes through, and Jorgamo finds it with the showstopper. Such a beautiful switch up. You can see Boostio even relaying that information. He was like, yeah, I'm good for 2 potentially here. The orbital strike buys more time. Beautiful investment here from EG. I love the tiny switch up here.
Just having Boostio in that spot is going to command a response. Now, they've broken the buy of Loud, so you're looking at what they've got as Sheriffs and a Guardian, so stacking out towards B. I want to see if EG do go for a fact-finding mission of their own, make sure they don't fall to this, because we've been seeing this aggression, and Aspas is closing in. That's the first. Good trade for Ethan, though, not going to let that get too out of hand. Going to spiral away until then. Kalanzine filling that void, taking down Boostio. Maybe Loud are going to do it right back to him. A little bit more to this buy, but not a great deal. And then just going to slip away. They've done the damage. They can fall back towards the site.
It's strange here to see that. Obviously, Tui's on the other side of the map, but no smoke to come through to block off that angle just to the backside of Tree to really truly isolate that first player. Guardian and Sheriffs to work with here. But EG in a 3v4.
Yeah, I'm looking at Les as well. His timing is going to be interesting. If he decides to get a little more involved. They have the steps towards the side, but they want to maybe chase down one. Ethan's found Kalanzine. How do you get that? And now, look at the awareness as well. Turns around to have a little look for Les, but he's not there. Missing the timing, gives an opportunity. Les waits, he strikes. That could be a second. Not just yet. Calm's still alive. Okay. Not out of the woods just yet. Sadak and Tui still alive. Looking at this, still one smoke, one flash for Sadak, and he's closing the gap a little here. Looking for the chip damage. Doesn't get the reward. And now just Tui's. This is brutal. This is hard to try and work against. Another check. Com's good for it. Stability found for EG now. Up to 8. And they get past those threats. But that was stormy waters. Loud got super in their face.
Com is playing so confidently here. The ping on the recon, and he's running knife out towards tower to charge down that kill. It's ridiculous. And yes, in this round, Loud take the initiative, but again, it's mitigated so well by EG, and they win out in terms of the pivot. The mid-round here suits them perfectly. Like I said, maybe if Aspas lives off that initial play, there's a smoke behind, it's a little more protected. That could have gone a different way.
They've got the same stack almost, but with a buy behind it. A little bit of a switch of positions, and Aspas, this timing, it's rough for him now. Down to 14, forced away. It's Kalanzine to punish towards Jorgamo. And Kalanzine going to double down on this, still stunned up, still wants more. Maybe overzealous in this, a little caught up, a little punish, and how is Ethan here? Yeah, even Aspas is surprised. Ethan taking so much space.
Have to respect the lockdown here. Flank from Tui's coming on the north side towards Arcade. The plant will be obtained. Some tools available. Have a shock dart, still got the molly, and some nano swarms down, so Loud have to be quick about this. I'll just post preemptively.
They're just going to send it, and even if it's time ball, but it's even a tag! Sadak's gone down. Less than 2, he's that flank being noted. Ethan, super heads up. Still looking towards it, just sitting out of that traditional angle tucked into the corner, but he's going for a hunt on this one. He wants a bit more. He's out for blood frenzies, and up for it, Ethan! Seals it, signs it, delivers it. EG! What a goddamn half!
Beautiful reaction as well from Ethan. He actually gets into the backside of underpass, actually all the way past Arcade. Loud leave the back door open, and the Rolling Thunder posted through. Results in a kill and leaves that B site once again on a platter. I mean, Loud just didn't have a response here. We didn't see enough versatility at all, Lauren.
And those questions hopefully will be answered on the desk where we're going to now.
Thank you very much, Pansy and Hypok. What a start to this game. Bala, EG are just so prepared on this map.
Yeah, this is a perfect map for them. I mean, they could get so many ults online and come as a demon with them, and the plan that Potter has with these ults is beautiful. Let's look at a bonus run, actually, that really catapulted them to having a massive lead in this game. The thing that they do here, they throw a molly for Boostio that lands all the way up in tower and completely separates the entire team on Loud and the entire setup for Loud. And Calm has farmed up his ult because of a really fantastic pistol round. Jogamo, in this situation, you might think that he's just, you know, doing normal things. He gets naded in, whatever. He's going to follow up and get a kill. Those players, why are they so separated? It's because of this. If you could pause right here on this ping, this guy gets 2 players at the same time as they've cleared out halls at the top of this right here. All this space in tower is completely covered. This is getting aftershocked, it's getting stunned at the same time, there's a nade going in, and you'll see on Sadok's POV, if you can start it again right here, 2 pings out of Calm. Both those players are now known. There's also a molly keeping them inside of this space. So Sadok's POV, it's just completely, I mean, what can you do in this space? He's like, okay, I'll just throw a nade. I'll do what I can. You see the aftershock. There's the Hunter's Fury. He has no room to move. And he actually walks back into that. And this is the type of thing that's just really, really nice to see from EG over and over.
And those are the preset ideas. They also had these rounds where it was really fast reactions with ult. They end the half with a breach ult coming in and forcing Loud into the EG players on the south side to punish them. One of their big priorities is collecting orbs on both sides of the map. And you saw towards the later part, Loud was trying to introduce some aggression to shut that down, but that was constantly getting punished. EG is so good at varying the pace.
I think Loud actually came into this strategically dealing with some of these ideas very well, but individually EG is just pounding.
Yeah, I mean, Loud, they have to dig a little bit deeper and find a next layer, Lauren, if they want to win this map. Let's see if they can.
You're right, there has to be more from Loud, right? We look at them as one of the best. There's no other way to phrase it. You kind of put them up there with Fnatic, you put them up there as one of the favorites coming into this event. And right now they have 3 rounds against EG, who scraped into this tournament. This could be the Cinderella run. We've been missing them for a while, but we wait and see. This is only the first half, best of 3. It's a long series. And Loud, more than capable of bringing this back into touching distance, but it has to start now.
Hold on, set up here.
Set up.
All right, yeah, looking to pinch immediately, but a little bit of chip damage done. Aspas will be down to 58 HP now, and definitely weakens the front line here. Jogman, re-clearance might find it. No, Sadak gets it.
They're so hungry for this pinch, though. They're almost tripling, doubling, over-committing in towards that, and Loud so ready on the other side, brawling it out. Yes, taking a lot of damage, but it needs something almost tragic to go wrong, and maybe the tragedy's in the hands of this man, not this time. Aspas overwhelms, takes the site. More than likely takes the round. Comp has had a wonderful performance, but this is a very tough situation.
Aspas 28, Sadak 22, 2E's 15. If he can find this first one, Les would be the one to fall first to make it doable, but Loud find the pistol.
Here we go.
EG very happy to take that engagement. I don't know if they feel like it's maybe 1 or 2 players, but spacing a little off. Jorgamo, yes, caught off guard, but second and third swings a little bit disjointed, which we haven't seen many examples of, to be honest with you. Took his time with that one.
The frenzy will still win.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. For this though, looking back here, just the frenzy for Demon 1. That's it. Everyone else on classics. Actually, he doesn't even go for that. So full on eco. Look at the buy coming out from Loud as well. Rifle straight up for Aspas. Guardian coming out for Kaunzin, and the rest just kind of filling the ranks. And just a bit of a walk back through. Now, the timing on this...
They're going to meet each other.
Yep. There shouldn't be a problem with this. The weaponry alone for Loud should be fine, but it's getting a little chaotic. Demon 1 going to find one, Negan finds another. Any more, and it would have been a question mark. For now, they can operate with 3. That would be just fine. What does Boostio do with this?
They spotted Boostio at the start of the round, so reading into the fact he's rotated back through spawn here after taking a little bit of damage. Was there a Bulldog missing?
There was a Bulldog on the buy, so I don't know where that's gone. Kaunzin had it at the start. So
Yeah.
I wonder if that's maybe Boostio's having a little bit of a glimpse, see what's about. Don't know if it's been... I don't know where that's gone. Neither does Boostio, so...
I mean, where the death marker is maybe fell over the side out of the map, but it's a big loss, to be honest with you. Obviously, you can throw away the pistols here, maybe even the Spectre. See if Busio can get anything else done as well, to be honest with you.
Nah, not going to be. 3 alive. That's lovely for Loud. Just what they needed. It's not as clean as I'm sure they'd like, but at this point, you're closing in on that scoreline.
No,
That's
for sure.
the critical thing.
Yeah, with this purchase, again, you can give up 2 lives for sure. Like I said, it's tough that the Bulldog gets lost
Yeah.
in that exchange.
That's where it was, so definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, up and over the
Side.
edge. Bye-bye. So yeah, Kaunzine down to just the Sheriff. So yeah, that could have been nice to bolster this purchase a little more. They still have the 3 rifles out, so it's not the end of the world for Loud. Again, very competitive purchase coming into this match, or at least into this round.
Aspas barreling towards it, yeah. Way ahead of the curve here. No flash, no stun, nothing. Demon 1 will punish. So an early advantage here for EG. Spike not committed just yet. Sadak and Les to plant the seed here. Com's actually going to drone in this position. You got to be careful of that utility combo coming through.
Yeah, puts him down to 33. But he does get to keep his life, a little bit of support from CT, and they're responding quite quickly to this. Still going to have Jorgamo over towards Sand. Notice the player close, a little bit paranoid over towards Dish. No one's there.
See, Loud were ready to collapse here. They actually collected the spike and were ready to actually force their way onto 8. It did draw the rotation, though.
Yeah, just double checking that no one had slipped up towards Sand just yet. They're still behind the door, so gives Jorgamo a little bit more of an angle to play with. Kaunzine, Sadak, Tui's less. And a dry re-clear of this gives a fair fight to Jorgamo, and you can't be doing that. Down to 40, but he still fancies more, and he gets more. That's the 3rd for him this round. 4 still standing for EG. Can Tui's do some damage on this? This is rough for him. Does he get a fair fight? Demon 1 doesn't want it to be fair, but Tui's closing in a little bit. And drawn in, has a little look towards Ethan, confirms the position. Com's got to be careful. Was put down a little lower as Tui's just step by step trying to clear through this. Yeah, he's being toyed with. This is rough. 13 seconds. Not many options in this now. And yeah, gets found. Demon 1. Good for it. Jorgamo though, Mike. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Again, just Sadak swings onto the angle as the fault line's coming in. Commits to the engagement, and Jorgamo, he's got a corner to tuck into. This was very bizarre. I don't know if Aspas is maybe thinking he's going to catch somebody on a jump peak or something, but like I said, no utility at all to provide pressure to that first angle that opens up. I think it just so happens that EG are stacked in a high-low there.
Okay, that's double digits for EG now. Big buy coming out though for Loud. What's the game plan now? Ethan, gonna spot Aspas. What's going on? What on earth is going on? Yeah, this round is bizarre. EG just getting a little fast and loose with this. You can't be really doing that against Loud. I mean, something can be said, I guess, for Aspas flying through completely none the wiser. But while all this happens, while this little battle happens on Sand, they've slipped through towards the site.
EG maybe anticipating a rotation back towards B. Plant will come through. I think just in audible range here, the EG players all the way over in spawn. Some tools to work with. A smoke for Demon 1 and Molly, 1 off the orbital strike. Look at Jorgamo. Tons of utility to work with here.
They're going to price on these players out. Some very deep positions though. Loud, all safely getting away from the site. Jorgamo put them under pressure though. They don't know this though. Now they do. No one's on site. This is a really hard position to try and play up against. Loud are going to run that clock to perfection. Paranoia Ascent doesn't catch. Jorgamo closing in. He needs to make sure he's got this, I don't know, on wraps somehow. Because there's still utility for Loud. They are defending this perfectly. They're basically making it impossible for EG, even in this situation. No time. Loud did enough in that post plant to get them up to 6.
Move everything, force a repurchase as well. Again, secondary objective achieved here. And even so, I didn't even actually spot that. It was still a snake bite in play for less. Did have the poison orb lined up. Aftershock to come through as well. So very tough for EG to actually pull off this retake.
Yeah. But also, I do have to put a little question mark towards Aspas in the last couple of rounds.
The start of that round was bizarre.
It was very strange, wasn't it?
Because there was investment this time around. It wasn't if it was just Aspas barreling onto, into A main. Really strange.
Loud, look at the pace on this. Yeah, absolute singular focus on this round. Gonna head on through. Held back by that smoke, though. It's enough for them to rethink this approach. I thought they might have just committed through that, potentially.
I mean, what, 2 flashes? The knife invested. And it's not really won them anything if you look at the minimap. Posturing up as if that fast hit was going to come through, and now they're going to recontact back onto site.
Looks like it. And we can see the 2 players sat quite deep for EG. There is still one towards tower. It's going to be Jorgamo. D1 does have ult 2. Now quietly as they could, trying to get towards the site. Now here comes a problem though. Going to send them away, trying to isolate a few kills here. Jorgamo going to find County and retake towards the site here. Loud held at the door once again. Utility going to start dwindling as you can already see the pings coming out. They're starting to get the information now. The spike is down just from that verge of tower. Incredible reposition from Jorgamo. And the cross now gets punished. It's all on Aspas in a 1v3. This is wild for him. He needs to almost over-deliver here. They're starting to flood the site. Get a little closer. Another tap on the spike. He ain't going to get that fight. EG really offsetting the pace that Loud wanted, but also Loud looking a little hesitant on some of these.
Yeah, I don't know if that was just intended or if it was just the smoke that slowed them down. But recontacting here with such a huge investment, they have to wait for the knife to come back through. And
I love that reposition from him here, though. Just tucking in the corner, making them to work towards that spike.
deals with the one player that crosses, and there's another question mark created for Loud to have to re-clear default, and nobody does. Very, very concerned with how some of these rounds in the second half have looked. With Loud are just throwing something out to see what sticks, but seeing Aspas way ahead of the curve and
disconnected like that.
Disconnected from not just the rest of his team, but absent of any utility to support him to make such brazen plays in the early round.
I don't mind him being audacious. It's one of my favorite things to see a Neon well supported.
Remember,
exactly.
yeah.
It's like this guy's one of the best in the world. He's still on 17-14. He's not having a bad game, but you want to see that kind of fit within the machine of it, right? You want to see that kind of supplemented, supported. It hasn't felt like it's got that synergy in the right place here. Some of that credit, sure, I'll put to EG, but a couple of these rounds have been, it looks like maybe a misplay, something that's just not quite right. And I do want to talk about this, and we'll talk bigger picture maybe after this map, because again, this is EG's choice, so they do look good here for now. Coming in cold to the playoffs is a conversation I want to have with you, especially for Loud. Now, I think we kind of talked about this at the start. We wouldn't put them as one of those teams who suffer that issue, but they're now presented potentially a map down going forward.
It looks like they actually are suffering from that issue, to be honest with you. This is very uncharacteristic, some of these rounds, the way... and again, this is not to discredit what EG are doing here on Fracture at all, but Loud look off their game. Yes, there's an adjustment period, sure, but...
Gotta get it going. We'll re-explore that once we get in towards map 2 here, because we're still not out of the game just yet. Loud have enough ult to be able to make something out of this round. Spray comes in, and actually Com does connect towards Sadak. So this suddenly isn't going as easy as expected. EG, yeah, these positions are beautiful. So prepared for what Loud are gonna do. It's clean. It's a Prime Gaming flawless to get to 12. EG looking near on untouchable here.
And Loud actually dump a couple of ultimates into that. Have the Rolling Thunder to work with, less 2 away from the pit, but see here, even catching Sadak here with that.
Spike down A.
1v5.
He came in.
Oh,
Go Corbin!
I killed
Yeah,
the whole
12-6 now.
One more. One more and the map one is theirs, right? That's such a hurdle to get past. Against Loud, pull this into context.
It's not close either.
It hasn't been. And it's leaving me with so many worries for Loud bigger picture, but for now we focus on this round. Round 19, 6-12, EG are in control, but Sadak has a lot of room to play with here. It's north side space for EG, they've prioritized this. And Demon 1 starts to come back through, he has no idea that Sadak's this deep. Oh my god, this guy! Apparently doesn't make a blind bit of difference, but look at the response though. It's quite quick. They're going to head right back over towards B. Loud leaning into this now.
This is almost what EG want, though. Look at the ultimates here. The lockdown, the Hunter's Fury, the Rolling Thunder, all available. And an early advantage created by EG.
And the ult sent back through from Cowanzine finds nothing. No one was even close to CT, but we wait. Let's see what this pack of 3 can find, kind of filtering through that southern side. Loud going to try and set up their best defenses here.
They're reflanking to put down the attacker lockdown in underpass. There's the awareness there from Loud. Couple of players positioned towards Arcade. They can get on the outside of this.
Here we go. There go the alarm bells. They're ringing. They
I
got
want
to
to see the
handle this.
Hunter's Fury behind this as well.
The combo coming in from Ethan though. Can they get this one started? Oh, the cross gets caught. Big shot and a bigger follow-up. Aspas, he's not out of it yet. This is still a great hold from him. Jorgamo is on the defuse though, tagged up but not going to be stopping just yet. Aspas is doing so much damage and it's all just come. This one slipped between their fingertips. There's a little bit of that magic we know that Loud have.
First round that actually feels like Loud withstand the game plan from EG.
Convincing round for me.
Again, set up perfectly to get on the outside of that lockdown, and I was surprised we didn't actually see the combo. Maybe it happened off screen, but these are the sort of rounds where, like I said, they play perfectly into EG's game plan, and there's usually a Hunter's Fury behind this to clear up on the outside of the lockdown. Big round from Aspas, though.
Yep. If he starts activating, it does get scary. Guy's movement's so gorgeous when you watch him play, like, wow. I've missed watching that man work. Let's see what he's up to this time around, though. We've kind of seen that kind of, I guess, almost overheat at times, a little bit overzealous in some of these approaches to the site. But for now, Loud taking a little bit more of a different route, a little bit more cautious, a little bit more passive. You can see EG on the other side responding by taking map control. So we're going to clear through that northern side.
Jorgamo might even catch Kawanzin and Aspas on the backside of this.
This is purely a timing game. I want to see from that northern side, that perspective coming in from Jorgamo. Okay, he's got contact, but he didn't get the kill. So that's one thing, that's a small bonus, but he's actually going to double down on the chase here. They want to try and connect towards this. They get out with their lives though, and Com's going to burn the ult for this too. There's the tag that he was looking for. But now the cross is going to be made. Good timing from the Molly to come down, but Booster the one to find Sadak. The site is not safe at all. Aspas forced away. He's got so many problems. Oh, and Jorgamo is the biggest one of them all, making issues for Loud and leaving them in tatters. Less is all that's standing. It's the 5 of EG. How much can he achieve out of this one? The spike is a million miles away, and so is map 1 for Loud. Beautiful from EG, holding on to this Cinderella run now.
The confidence continues to flow here for EG. Loud, I gotta say it, a couple of rounds there where they just looked a little stunned, a little shocked. Lacking answers in the first half, and in the second, I don't know if it's frustration coming into a few of these, but definitely got to keep that in check here. This is a familiar opponent here.
It is. But again, we talk about the capabilities that come with being a favored side, an experienced side. All of that Loud still has. They still have that pedigree, that ability to go backstage, take a moment, mentally reset, come back in. Their map next, it's Ascent. I mean, this map sits with them so perfectly. Yes, EG have done damage on this. It's not a bad map for EG, but still, it's going to be a reminder you can never write Loud out. But EG deserve a lot of credit for this map, Mike.
Absolutely, yeah, and we see them execute the same sort of set pieces we saw previously versus DRX, but then on top of that, a couple of the players really actually excelling beyond that, coming out in gunfights in 1vx situations. Demon 1, man, that clutch early on was ridiculous.
Yes.
Completely forgot about that until we saw it in the replay there.
Yeah.
So yeah, very few positives, very few, you know, rounds that Loud can really pin onto in terms of successes here. And EG actually winning out in some of the adjustments beautifully in the first half.
This could be one of the bigger upsets of the tournament so far. They've taken the first steps towards it. We're not
Loud's
there yet.
opening game.
This is their debut on the stage. Last international affair for them didn't go so well. So a little bit of a reminder, maybe a little bit of a nightmare reoccurring here, but they're gonna be having it with their eyes wide open, and EG carrying on from the group stage. This has been a very good confidence